to me, I can't even believe, if I could tell my younger 15, 16-year-old self, like, hey, one day you're going to go on tour with Pink, I'd be like, what?
Cool. So let's talk about your work. You already work together with a lot of famous people. You work together with Pink, with Kesha, and so on. So my first question is, what is it like for you to work with or to become creative with people like them?
I don't even know the words. Every time an opportunity like that comes up, I can't believe it. I feel so incredibly lucky to, like Kesha has become, she's like my fairy god sister now. We met through work and we just hit it off, and to get to work with her, I've been a forever fan, really, and to get to work with her and experience her, just how incredible her talent is, and her heart is humongous and so beautiful. And like with Pink, again, just like I get goosebumps and giddy thinking about it. I mean, it's just, to me, I can't even believe, if I could tell my younger 15, 16-year-old self, like, hey, one day you're going to go on tour with Pink, I'd be like, what? So, it really, for me, I just feel so lucky and so thankful to be able to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and let's talk about your new single, because you did a new single. It's called Back to Back, and you did it together with Duncan Laurence.
Yeah.
How did you decide to work together? Can you tell me something about this kind of teamwork?
Yeah, absolutely. It was such an interesting process. That the song was a song I had written a few years ago with an artist called Leon, who is absolutely incredible. And it was a duet, and it kind of, as many songs do, it kind of sat around for a bit, but it always haunted me in the corner of my mind, like, man, I really want that song to come out. I really want that song to come out. And so as we were piecing the album together, that was a big thought in my head, was that song's got to be on there. And I wanted it to be a queer duet. It's a love song, and I wanted that representation. And so I'm such a fan of Duncan's. I think, like, his talent and just how emotive his voice is, and his writing is just so beautiful. And I noticed one day that he followed me on Instagram. And so I just kind of went rogue, and I sent him a message and with the song in it. And I said, I don't even know if you're going to read this. I felt like a fanboy,
Yeah.
I'm like geeking out, and I was just like, I'm such a fan, and I don't even know if you're going to see this, but I noticed that you followed me, and I'm freaking out, and I have this song, and would you want to work on it with me? And within a few hours, he wrote back. He's like, this song is beautiful. I'd love to work on it with you. Like, let's do it. And again, it was just one of those moments where I'm like, what?
Do you want to tell me something about the song? What is is there a main subject in the song in Back to Back?
Yeah, that song for me is just a moment that I feel like a lot of us can relate to, of falling asleep next to your person, and whether you're mad or sad, or there was an argument or whatever it was, where you're like on opposite sides of the room, basically, and just how much space, when I find myself in those moments, I'm staring at the wall, and it feels like I'm floating away into outer space. And I almost get mad at myself, because I'm like, all you have to do is just flip around and be like, hey, can we talk? Or, hey, I'm sorry. Or, hey, I love you. Or, it takes the smallest thing. And I think sometimes it's easier to float further away than it is to simply turn around and check in and apologize, or just open a conversation. And so the song for me is sort of a plea of like, let's just do something because this sucks.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, that people don't talk to each other. Right? It's easy, but they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And your album, which will be released on 24th of September. That's right, huh? 24th of September, that's right.
Yeah.
These words are all for you. Do you want to tell me something about it? What kind of music will we hear? Will it be just like back to back? Will there be some other, yeah, I don't know. Tell me something about it. I'm curious.
Yeah. You know, this is my debut record. I've been working on this for, I mean, the oldest song is about 8 or 9 years old.
Really? Okay.
And it's where the title comes from. It's a song called "Love Is Not a Simple Thing to Lose."
Mm.
And the last lyric that you hear on the record is "These words are all for you." And so that's something that stayed with me from the first time I made an album that didn't come out, and the second time and the third time, you know. And so there's a, you know, it's very much snapshots from the past 8, 9, 10 years of my life. Emotions and, you know, heavy on emotion, I always kind of try to do. But it's ended up being so much more hopeful than I thought it would be. You know, I always thought my first record would be a breakup album, and it's not. You know, I find myself very much in love now, and having been through a lot in the past, you know, 8 years. So it's a lot more hopeful, which makes me quite happy, honestly. Even just for myself, I'm like, wow, I'm not as sad as I thought. And sonically, you know, there's back to back and the songs like Good that have come out and Nothing But the Love are very representative of what it is sonically. It's a lot of piano, and really for me, piano and voice are the most important things, and everything else is just kind of framing that.
Okay. But you were very successful with The Village too. How is your feeling concerning the album? Do you think I want to be as successful as I was with this song? You know what I mean? How?
Yeah. You know, to me, I have remeasured success so many times in, you know, I've been in LA now for about 12 years, maybe 11. To me, I feel that The Village is one of my most successful songs because it's reached so many people that needed it or that connect to it. And so in that way, you know, I think when I first moved to LA, I was like, I want to be rich and famous and like whatever. And I want such different things now, you know. I think that makes sense. A lot of people, when you're 18 and you're moving to LA, that's what you want. You want whatever, the kind of surface level of it all. And when I got to see and continue to see what The Village has done for people, you know, I have a hard time taking credit for that song. That song came out of the sky. Like I feel so lucky to like have been involved in it. I know that sounds weird because it's like my song that I released, but I hope that makes sense. Like I wrote it for these two kids that I met on tour, and they told me to release it, so I did because you know, we all thought it could help people. And so, you know, carrying that into the album, I hope that the album reaches people. I hope it if people are in love, I hope it makes them feel more in love. If they broke up, I hope it makes, you know, it's a shoulder that they can lean on. If they're questioning the existence of everything, I hope that they realize they're not the only person doing that. You know, I know what it's like to have music impact me in that way. And so I hope that's my biggest hope for anything that I do. And The Village really changed a lot for me because of that, because I would have people coming up to me at shows, and before any words were spoken, we're both crying. Like we both have tears in our eyes because there's this understanding of like, you see me, I see you. That's it. Yeah. Like, oh, and that music can do that. It's just, I have like goosebumps just thinking about that feeling.
Yeah, and music can have a big influence to the LGBTQ community too. I mean, you proved it.
Yeah.
Do you think that it is important as an artist to stand up for your rights and to fight for the rights of the LGBTQ community?
Absolutely. For me, it's just a big part of who I am, and so naturally, it's going to be a big part of my music and my artistry, and I don't think. I just think it's kind of a natural thing. Like I know what it feels like to come out and to feel, outside of, and to feel like there's something wrong with me, and not to call back the village, but like I really know what that feels like, and so many of us do. And I think if there's anything that I try to do, it's to just to use whatever platform I have to show people that they're not alone, and to show people that we're all in this together, and there's space for everyone, and to celebrate our differences as much as our similarities, and even like artists like Kesha about that. Like going to a Kesha show is like it's incredible. There's just like glitter everywhere, and but beyond the glitter and the I think beyond all the kind of surfacey like rainbows and glitter, she cares so much. She genuinely cares so very much, and to get to experience that, like one show that changed my life was the first time I opened for her was at LA Pride, and it was my first Pride that I ever went to.
Oh, okay.
On the stage, and to just get to experience what that felt like so much love and so much support and such a celebration. And I think there's so many queer people that don't get that, and so it's kind of like, how can we give that to them wherever you are, whoever you are? How can we, as artists, show you that you're amazing and you're beautiful and you're loved and you're accepted and you're,
Yeah. Okay. So I have to change the subject, but it's very hard for me because it's so lovely to hear. But we have to, because American songwriter is of the opinion that you are one of the best songwriters of the last, I don't know how many years. What kind of feeling is it to hear something like this?
I mean, it's like unbelievable, really.
Just like Pink and Kesha and so on.
Just like everything, one of my mentors told me one time when we were going out on and they would always ask me, like, what does it feel like to hear yourself on the radio? And I say, it's unbelievable. Like, I actually can't believe it. She's like, you have to stop saying that. And I'm like, no, I mean it every single time. And so, I mean, it's such an honor to hear something like that and to read something like that about my work. I think I make stuff and I don't know what's going to happen with it, and I don't know if anyone's going to hear it, if anyone's going to like it, and I just try to put myself into it, and I try to put a lot of heart into what I'm doing, and so to hear something like that, it means the world to me, because it's kind of like, wow, like you're hearing it, and you love it, and I don't know, it's just crazy.
It's kind of like, what?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Okay, then you come to my last question. I wanted to ask you about your plans for this year, because I read that you are going to be at the SWR New Pop Festival. Do you want to tell me something about your further plans until December?
Yeah, so I'm so excited about that show. I just can't wait. I mean, it's been so long since I played a show. I just played my first show in about a year and a half in Minneapolis last week, and it's just beautiful. And I have a little tour here in the States kicking off at the end of this month. And then I have the album comes out September 24th, and the 23rd I have a release show, which I can't wait for. And I don't, if last year taught me anything, it's that you can't plan for anything. And so, we have plans for these shows, and they're moving forward. But I don't know what the rest of the year will entail. I know I know I'll be writing a lot. I have a few other songs with other artists that are going to be coming out that I'm really excited about. And hopefully more shows even after this little tour run. And we'll see.
But you won't get bored.
I won't be bored.
So I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best for your song. Good luck for your album and so on. And perhaps we'll see each other one day in real life with Maske.
I would, Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun. Thank you.